Good morning, everybody. It is Friday morning again. Now, I appreciate that on the live feed you can't see my head because today our 10-minute tone up or 10-minute tonic or 10-minute timeout, whatever you want to call it, is all about the feet. It's all about the feet. So, let me tell you a couple of fun facts about the feet. In the foot and the ankle, there are 26 bones, 33 joints and over 100 muscles, ligaments and tendons. And the bones of both feet, so 52 bones in the feet, make up more than a quarter of the bones in the entire body. Women are 4 times more likely to suffer with foot problems than men, and that's generally down to our footwear, I'm afraid. And finally, a 2.5-inch heel. And if you think about it, it's not that high, is it? A 2.5-inch heel, about so big, maybe? Yeah. Will increase the pressure on the forefoot by 75%. So our poor old feet take a bit of a battering, really. I am a great one for losing toenails because I do a lot of walking. I have just changed my boots though, so hopefully that might alleviate some of the issues. But your feet should be really mobile. They should be almost as mobile as your hands, but of course they're not because we don't use them in the same manner, and we don't need to. Generally, for most people, we don't need to. So we're going to do a few exercises today that are going to give our feet a little bit of love. So all I want you to do is sit yourself down so that your feet are flat to the floor, nothing fancy, and simply lift only your big toes. So lift the big toes and then back down again. Don't do anything else, don't roll out onto your feet, don't do anything else, just lift your big toes up and then down. Okay, now you may not be able to do that, and you may need to hold your other toes down in order to lift those up, just until you start to appreciate the work that comes through that tendon from the big toe. So just lift and lower. So nothing else changes, lift and lower. Some of you could do this all day long. Okay, and then put the big toe down. Now really plant the big toe down and just lift the other toes. And again, this time, don't roll inwards to do that. We're not moving across the foot. We're simply trying to lift all those other toes up instead. So it might be that you now need to hold the big toe down in order to try and get the other toes to lift. And you'll also probably find, as always, that one foot seems to react a little bit more favourably than the other. Okay? All right. So, take a look down at your toes. Can you spread your toes out in the same way that you spread your fingers out? So as you look down to the floor, I'm assuming you've taken your socks off to do this, can you see space? Can you see carpet or tiles or whatever it is you're on? Can you see that between every toe? Can you literally pull your toes apart in the same way that you splay your hands? And then, with that feeling of really trying to spread out your toes, can you also make sure you've got weight underneath the ball of the big toe, weight underneath the ball of the little toe, and weight underneath the centre of the heel? So that if you were to transfer that to standing, would you feel a really even pattern of weight around your feet? Okay, so that's a really simple thing to practice, just that feeling of opening up the toes, of spreading out the toes, and then feeling a real connection down into the ground. Okay, so if you're sitting, just cross one ankle over the knee. Okay. Make sure you've not restricted your ankle. Okay, and that's all I want you to do for the moment. Just roll your ankle around, clockwise, anti-clockwise, just forward and back. Just get a feeling of being able to move around the ankle. Okay, and then flex the foot, so from where you are, really push out through the heel, but pull the toes up so you feel the effort coming up through the shin. And then point as much as you possibly can. So flex and point. Flex and point. Okay, release that, pop that down, change sides. So again, Make sure we're above the knee, we're above the ankle, we've not restricted the joint. And we're just going to do little circles, clockwise, anti-clockwise. Just notice if any grinding, cracking, popping in that joint. Do that a few times and then point as much as you possibly can, so really reach those toes away, and then flex as much as you possibly can by pushing out through the heel. And then point and flex. Be as keen as you can with it. Some of you might even find as you point, you get a little cramp in the foot. Okay, and then release. Okay, with your feet once again flat and spread out those toes, place the hands onto the tops of the knees, widen the shoulders, draw down, engage the abdominals slightly, and then pushing down against the knees, lift your heels up and then down. Okay, so you want to create a resistance. So press down, drop those shoulders down, keep those abdominals slightly engaged, open that chest, and then working against the resistance of the pressing hands, lift the heels up and then back down. Now notice as you lift the heels up, and you might notice this when you do standing balance work in class, can you lift your heels up without splaying out onto the little toes? Okay, generally speaking, if you can't keep the weight balanced, as we said a moment ago, evenly across the ball of the big toe to the ball of the little toe and then down again, generally it shows a sense of weakness around the ankles. So if you find that when you come up you come outwards, then I would go lower and really work on just working in that range so that you can again just lift, heels stay lined, don't splay. Okay, so do that a couple more times. Really press down, work against resistance, lift, you'll feel those calf muscles working, and then down, and you're working quite firmly into the toe bars as well. And then press and down. Good. Just give those legs a little bit of a shake out, those feet a little bit of a tap. Okay, if you've got a squashy ball, it doesn't have to be this, but just a ball that's got something grippable, then that's what we're going to do next. I love this exercise. Do this a lot, as my regular clients know. So what's going to happen is it's going to challenge our balance, it's going to challenge our hips, it's going to challenge the grip aspect of the foot. If you need to, fingertip touch against something so that you're well supported and you're going to be safe. Okay, so if you know your balance is a little bit off, then just make sure you've got fingertips touch somewhere. Okay, you're going to put your foot onto the top of the ball, you're going to grip with your toes and you're going to lift it up and you're going to take it into the hand, trying not to lean over to do that. And then you drop it, change sides, grip with the foot, lift it up, take it into the hands, and that's all you're going to do, okay? So lift, take into the hand, and down, grip, lift, and down. So you might find it's very difficult to grip. I wish I had £1 for every time somebody had said to me, my ball's too inflated, okay? But I promise you that's not the case. So it is that grip that you're trying to get. Obviously, if you've got something like a child's football that's very shiny, that's going to be impossible. It's got to be something where, you know, there is some pinchability to it. There's got to be some pinchability to it. But if you don't have that, then choose something else. That probably won't work. Okay, let's just have a look. So got a little towel here, okay, little towel. All right, that's got some pinchability. So I can pick that up with my toes. Just have to go into a little bit of a fold of the material. Same sort of thing. Tend to use the ball in classes because we've got them, okay? And I know so many of you do have these balls now. So as I say, by gripping, we're working that foot in an unusual manner. It's not something that we generally do. We're lifting the ball up, so we're challenging balance, we're challenging that supporting hip. We're trying to really work into that hip to lift the ball high enough that we don't have to fold over to get at it. Okay. All right. And then release. So that might be something worth playing around with. So there you go. There's a few little pointers there just to work those feet. See how you feel. We're going into the colder weather now, so it's entirely possible that you might start to stuff your feet into boots and not see them again till spring. show them a little bit of love. Don't do a little bit more than just the residual moisturiser that you don't know what else to do, you know, after a shower or a bath. Try and give them a little bit of love, care and attention every week, and they will feel a whole lot better for it, and they will thank you for it. So some foot exercises for you this morning, just to keep those tootsies nice and happy, and of course to make sure that our feet hold us up and carry us forward. Take care everybody, speak to you all soon.